Hey everyone. So let me start out this video blog by raising a question. Why has the NFL declared war on fun during its games? Why is it going on a crusade against end zone celebrations? I started thinking about this after last week when Redskin tight end Vernon Davis caught his first touchdown pass of the year and celebrated in the end zone by pantomiming a jump shot with the football. He was just as surprised as anyone else when the ref immediately threw a flag, penalized the team 15 yards for unsportsmanlike conduct. What had he done wrong? Well, the rule reads, a player cannot use the football as a prop. You can't make a jump shot with it. You can't drop it on the ground and feign a golf swing. You can't bowl it on the ground. You can't do anything with it except spike it. Somehow spiking the ball is acceptable. Making a jump shot with the ball is illegal. So that's an oddity right there. And I will say this. I do fault Vernon for not knowing the rule. It's his responsibility to know the rule. But the question that I'm raising today is, why does such a rule exist? Why is the NFL going down this road? What purpose does it serve? What problem do these end zone rules address? None that I can think of. I mean, after all, last year the NFL began to experience a drop in attendance for the first time in many years. And it's very understandable why that happened. The home viewing experience with HD TV, 4K TV, 50-inch TV, 70-inch TVs, and the profusion of games that are available to the viewer, that experience at home, it's a far better experience than going to the stadium. But this year we've also seen a drop in TV viewership, which is pretty unprecedented in the NFL. Now, we don't know exactly why that's happening. Some have blamed it on people's attentions being distracted by the presidential election, yada, yada, yada. At any rate, the point is that you would think that the NFL would be looking for ways to bump up the entertainment level. You'd think that they'd be looking for ways to, kind of excite a crowd. And one of the ways that you can do that is by end zone celebrations. Everybody has a good memory of end zone celebrations from the past. And let me run through a couple of the great celebrations from yesteryear. So let's take a look at some of the most beloved and memorable end zone celebrations as compiled by NFL.com. We start out with the Rams bob and weave, in which the players would gather around in a circle and wave their arms at each other as if they were rolling dice or something. Very fun celebration, would not be legal today. It's a group celebration, it's choreographed, not acceptable. How about the Redskins, a fun bunch? It's one of my favorite moments of the Redskins during the 1980s. Players would gather in a circle and give each other a group high five. It's incredibly fun, incredibly enjoyable for the crowd. Not acceptable today. Excessive celebration, group celebration, choreographed. No. Next one, how about the Atlanta Falcons' Dirty Bird, in which they would flap their arms? No. Again, overly choreographed, not acceptable. Terrell Davis, Mile High Salute. Acceptable? No. You cannot use military gestures in your celebration. That's right. Not acceptable. The Lambeau Leap in Green Bay. Now, interestingly, this one is acceptable. Even the NFL isn't crazy enough to take away the Lambeau Leap from the Green Bay fans. And in fact, it's been emulated in other stadiums. So that is one of the few that can still be done today. The Icky Shuffle. Now, the Icky Shuffle was so beloved that, it became the stuff of a Geico commercial in the last few years. And if my memory serves, the Icky Shuffle got outlawed too, and he had to do it over on the sidelines. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the Icky Shuffle would not be acceptable today. The Victor Cruz salsa dance. I think Victor Cruz can still do his salsa dance. So that is a dance, but it's not so sexual in nature as to run afoul of the NFL censor. And the most memorable and beloved end zone celebration of all time, according to NFL.com, was Billy White Shoes Johnson moving his knees in and out, doing the funky chicken. I have wonderful memories of that. That probably would be outlawed today, too. So why has the NFL gone down this road? Why is it risking alienating players, fans, sports writers, everybody? Well, I have a more serious, somber, even cynical explanation for what's going on. Let me read you a list of the top 30 scorers this season, 2016. That is the top people who are likely to wind up in the end zone and be celebrating. Top scorers in the NFL this year. Let me read you some names. David Johnson, Arizona. LaShawn McCoy, Buffalo. Ezekiel Elliott, Dallas. DeMarco Murray, Tennessee. Julio Jones, Atlanta. Gordon, San Diego. Carlos Hyde, San Francisco. LeGarrette Blount, New England. Antonio Brown, Pittsburgh. Tevin Coleman, Atlanta. Marvin Jones, Detroit. Devontae Freeman, Atlanta. Lamar Miller, Houston. Greg Olsen, Carolina. Odell Beckham, New York Giants. Ty Hilton, Indianapolis. A.J. Green, Cincinnati. Kristen Michael, Seattle. Larry Fitzgerald, Arizona. Spencer Ware, Kansas City. Isaiah Crowell, Cleveland. C.J. Anderson, Denver. Ten Pryor, Cleveland. Mike Evans, Tampa Bay. Frank Gore, Indianapolis. Amari Cooper, Oakland. Michael Crabtree, Oakland. Matt Jones, Washington. And Terrence West, Baltimore. Now, do you notice anything significant about that list of names? I just named 30 top scorers in the NFL. You know how many white players there were on that list? 1. Greg Olsen of Carolina. I'm not one to traffic in, all sorts of racist conspiracies, but I do believe this, that there is a greater concern about celebrations because all the top scorers are black. When a white guy goes into the end zone and starts dancing, it's goofy. When Antonio Brown goes into the end zone and starts twerking, that's threatening. Back last year to all the ink that was spilled when Cam Newton did his dab in the end zone. I mean, this became a super controversy last year about a guy skipping around a little bit in the end zone. I mean, that was ridiculous, and we've all forgotten about it now, but at the time it was a big deal. Now, I'm not suggesting that the people in the NFL front office are terrible racists. I don't believe that at all. But I do believe that there is a racial component to these dumb anti-celebration rules by the NFL. In fact, they remind me a little bit of the way the NBA reacted around 2005 after the famous Malice in the Palace incident where there was a brawl in Detroit. They felt a need to combat a negative image, a negative stereotype. So at that point, they instituted a dress code for NBA players. They had to wear suits. Now, that was a different time, a different place, a different problem. What I'm suggesting to the NFL is there is no problem today. They're combating a problem that doesn't exist. The fans, the spectators, the writers, the players, they're way ahead of the NFL on this issue. Everybody wants to see some expressiveness and some individuality from the players. The message to the NFL is, come on, let the players be individuals. Let them have fun. Let them be themselves. This effort by the NFL reminds me of a famous quote by the British historian Macaulay about bear baiting and the outlawing of bear baiting in Great Britain. Macaulay said, "The British don't hate bear baiting because it gives pain to the bear. They hate bear baiting because it gives pleasure to the spectator." What he's essentially saying is, come on, NFL front office, you guys are basically a bunch of Puritans who are sour about the idea of people having fun in the end zone. Give it up. Let people enjoy themselves, and your product will thrive as a result. I'm Jeff Rowan. Thanks for watching.